This is a film about changing lives, a project what we did about gun and knife and gang crime.
Changing Lives, it's a Home Office Community Fund initiative, and we're looking at working with young people in Bradford and surrounding areas that are either affected by or at risk of being affected by knives, guns and gang culture. And we're working in a creative way. We're working with several artists to look to do some preventative work on that.
I am Shyster. I'm from Bradford background and I'm 40 years old and I'm taking part in the Guns and Knife project.
Hi, my name is Jake and I live in Bradford and I'm part of the Changing Lives project.
Hi, my name is Scott. I am 15 and I'm part of Changing Lives project.
Hi, I'm Paige. I'm 15 and I'm from Keighley. I'm part of the Changing Lives project.
Hi, my name's Kyle, I live in Greengates, I'm 17 and I'm part of the Changing Life project.
Hello, my name's Alex, I'm 16 and I'm part of the Changing Lives programme.
My name's Jake, I live in Keighley and I'm part of the Changing Lives project.
A lady called Brogan came to meet us from the Red Cross.
Hello, my name's Brogan Sohan Paul. I am the Youth and Schools Service Coordinator for West Yorkshire with the British Red Cross.
She talked to us about what the Red Cross does and how it deals with gun and knife crime, and then she showed us how to deal with gun and knife crime in a first aid, using first aid.
It's going into shock.
Still apply pressure onto it.
Count to 30 for me, please.
4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12.
Open the airway.
Right.
Pinch the nose. Two breaths.
Open your eyes if you can hear me.
And your response.
Open your eyes, three eyes open. Open your eyes if you can hear me.
Fantastic. Now listen for breathing.
I can't do
So
it.
keep his airway open, brilliant. Now look, you're looking down the body to see if the chest is going down as well and listening.
Yeah, it is.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count to 30 for him with the heel of your hand. With the heel of your hand. Yeah, brilliant.
How would you treat a knife wound?
I would. Firstly, I wouldn't pull out. If the knife was still in the casualty, I would not pull it out. I would apply pressure around it. I wouldn't pull it out. Try to stop the bleeding around it. I would call for help straight away. Straight away, I'll call for an ambulance. I'll get somebody who is around me to call an ambulance. I would check the casualty was breathing. If they weren't, I would open the airway and do the relevant first aid to make sure they were breathing. But as far as the knife injury was concerned, I would just apply a lot of pressure around the injury site and wait for an ambulance.
Would you say it's gun crime or would you say knife crime is the worst?
I'd say they were both as bad as each other, really. An injury from a knife can kill you, injury from a gun can kill you. They're both as bad as each other and there's no need for it really. And I think raising awareness with young people like yourselves, I think it's really good. And using the visual pictures as well to show what can happen as a result of a knife injury or a gunshot wound. I think it's really good to show people what it's like, and it's not glamorous and it's not great. It's quite horrible, the reality of it.
People arguing and getting in a fight, carrying guns and knives and weapons at night. Knives, guns, murder, death, kill. Look like these crimes will carry on still. 87% carry knives for protection, but by doing that they show their own imperfection.
Rory Romani is a firearms officer with the West Yorkshire Police. He came in to talk to us about what happens if you are caught carrying a weapon and show us examples of what happens when a weapon is used.
My name's PC Rory Romani and I am from West Yorkshire Operations Division. Within the Operations Division I work with the firearms team.
Well, mainly it talks about how to not carry knives around or guns, and it shows you all the different types of knives people carry and guns. It shows us pictures what happens to people when they've been carrying a knife around, which is not nice at all to see. And mainly this talks about what happens if they carry a gun or a knife around.
What weapon do you think is going to cause most damage? The big boy, yeah?
No.
Is it scary?
You can, the both hands can do it at the same time.
Yeah. 2 inches? Yeah. Carotid artery in your neck? Bleed out in 30 seconds. Femoral artery, which runs down the inside of your leg? Bleed out in 30 seconds. Dead. Eye socket? Throat? Wrist? It's going to do the same job, innit? What I will say about these as well, reality, yeah, gameplay, make sure you've got reality and gameplay, you know, on that side and that side, there's no mixing. Because the reality is, with these weapons, we always spoke about earlier on, about the A-team and all that, but you could blow the A-team up with napalm, couldn't you, and they'd still walk out with not an hair out of place. You can shoot them when they're stood behind doors, they'll be alright. The reality is, you can't stand behind doors. What do you think the penalty is for possession of an imitation firearm in a public place? 7 years?
Shoot someone.
No, just have it in your pocket. 4 again. 4 years. Up to 10 years in prison for being in possession of an imitation firearm in a public place.
Can you tell us any statistics about knife crime?
Yeah, main statistics that this presentation tells people about is the one that's 87% of people carry knives for protection. Whether it be it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, and there's a lot more people out on the streets, a lot more people drinking, a lot more gangs out there, so they're carrying them out just in case, or they're carrying because someone's after them. So 87% of people who carry weapons carry them for protection. And the other big case for that is there's 67% of them people get the knives taken off of them and used against them. So over half of the 87% of people will have their own weapons used against them.
Well, a woman from Beeston in Leeds called Lorraine. She came and told us about what had happened to her son, Tyrone. That he got stabbed from just sticking up for his friends.
Hi, my name's Lorraine Fraiser. I'm the mother of Tyrone Clark. My son Tyrone was stabbed and beaten to death in April 2004 in Beeston in Leeds. And I get a phone call at 5:10. I've just seen him at 4:30. Laughing, joking, full of himself. And I get a phone call saying that Tyrone had been stabbed. Well, with that, I screamed. I screamed down the phone, get an ambulance, that's all I said. So I'm driving and I get to this place called Brett Gardens, which is 2 minutes from where I lived. Big open space, houses round about it. And my son was laid out on the floor. My son was 6'4", he was a big lad. And there was ambulance people, there were police everywhere, there were people crying, there were girls crying, there were big boys crying, men crying, everybody was crying. I've run to get my son, because he's my son, he's my child. And I was held back by the police, and I collapsed on the floor. I weren't allowed to go to Tyrone, because I didn't know at this time that they was trying to save his life. I didn't know how serious, I didn't know what had happened, All I knew was Tyrone was hurt. Yet as a mother, I couldn't go to him. I couldn't even hold him, go near him or anything. The ambulance people then rushed him into an ambulance and the ambulance took off. When I've got to the hospital, because I didn't know how bad this was. I didn't know this was a murder, I didn't know anything. You know, I'm a normal mother cooking his tea at home. And next thing, my sister-in-law came in the room and she looked at me. She said, he's dead. I screamed. I fell to the floor. I said, no, he's not dead. He's not dead. You're lying, I'm screaming in this room. Everybody outside is screaming, his friends crying, everybody's hitting the walls, punching things, everything, and I'm in this, you know, I didn't know what I were or what was happening. I'm thinking, this is a bad dream, this is a nightmare, because this, let me tell you, is a nightmare. This is your worst nightmare. Then I was led into the theatre where my Tyrone was laid on a trolley. And when I tell you blood, I have never seen so much blood in all my life. My son's eyes were still open, but he was dead. On that day, Tyrone had gone out, and what had happened a week before, Tyrone had a fight because they tried to tax Tyrone's friend in the street, tried to take his bracelet or something, and he was on the phone to Tyrone saying, I've got 3 guys chasing me that want to tax me, you know what I mean? So Tyrone's saying, where are you anyway? He's got to where he is. You're a dead man. That's what they said to my son. That was on the Tuesday, and on the Thursday, my son was dead. Because what they did was, they rounded up everybody. Tyrone was attacked by 30 that day. He was beaten with every weapon going. He was CS gassed and he was stabbed 3 times, all from behind. Every weapon you name they had. When the police turned up to where Tyrone was laid, they were still beating him with baseball bats, cricket bats, metal poles, and his body were lifting off the ground, because all that come out in court. My son.
I mean, it was really upsetting. I mean, to her about what had happened.
I found it really emotional. I just couldn't understand why I'd done it in the first place. I just didn't like it at all. It was proper upsetting.
I mean, it really, well, from my personal views, I got really upset and everything, because she lost her rock and everything, like she said, and she's nothing here at the moment. She says she's nothing at the moment, and she's really upset. She's nothing without her kid, and it really hurt us and everything, and it really woke me up on that.
Can you tell us more about the campaigns you're doing?
Through Tyrone's death, I have now set up Tyrone's Memorial Project, and I work a lot around gun and knife crime. I go into schools, colleges, wherever I'm needed, and I talk to young people about the consequences of carrying guns and knives.
What effect has it had you from Tyrone's death?
It's had a big effect on me, and it will do to the day I die. I miss him terribly. It's made me view life differently, and I see things differently now. But I tried to celebrate Tyrone's life because he had a beautiful life, and I had him for 16 years, and I thank God that I was given that chance to have Tyrone for 16 years, because I had the best years going with my son.
What would your advice be to everybody that is involved in like gangs and crime?
Well, firstly, my advice to them would be not to be involved and to think about the actions that could occur. Being in a gang, anything can go at any time. I think the advice I would give to a young person is not to carry a weapon, not to get involved in a gang at all. Because that person eventually, if he's carrying a knife, could die by that knife, or he could kill somebody else. And he's not really thinking that at the time, he's just thinking he's carrying it because it's the fashion or he needs it or anything. You don't need to carry a knife, because the impact that could come through him carrying that knife, he could lose his life or her life, and the life of the person that, if they get into a fight or anything like that, and that person dies, he's then on a murder charge. And then there's the family of that person, there's his family as well, you know, and although he may not have thought that he wanted to kill somebody, but you can cut somebody with a knife, any part of a vein, and you can bleed to death and die, and that then would be a murder charge. I'd advise them to think about what they're going to do, and advise anybody to put down, do not carry a knife at all. Nobody needs to be carrying knives on the streets of this country. Nobody.
I've really enjoyed being part of the project because it's like being something that new that I've learned, not just because like before I wouldn't have known to come on this sort of stuff, I mean, because working with cameras is my sort of thing, and like I wouldn't have met people like this, so it's really interesting.
You shouldn't carry a knife because you could get stabbed or another person could get stabbed. And that if you carry a knife, you're basically a fool.
It sort of changed my mind about the knives. I mean, I've always knew that they were wrong, you know what I mean, but hearing about it through this has been a lot different, and it's, I mean, I will think twice about using or carrying a knife.
Guns are illegal, they can live a big hole. Missing jigsaw piece and a gap in the sun. Little Daniel Taylor got stabbed for his jacket. People getting shot for nothing more than a stick packet.
We need to make a racket so that we are heard. Come on people, don't stand there and observe. We're sending a message and we hope it's clear. We want to live a life free from fear.
You see people in the street playing with their blade. A one-way ticket to their life in the graves. They act big and brave but they're just dumb kids. Thinking they're hard but they're really just dips.
We want to know what you'll do about this crime. It doesn't bring back lives by giving people time. The dead can't be repaired, people live in despair. You need to take care, walk the streets and beware. Yo!